Hey, my lovelies, welcome to my channel. My name is author Alexandria Infante, and I write paranormal, historical, contemporary, suspense, and historical romance. I write from a multicultural, interracial aspect, and I love what I do. So this video is basically, I had a reader ask me how my journey went. And also another indie author asked me, what was it like? So basically that's what this video is for me just to let you know a little bit about me and my personal life and what my journey was as a published and then an indie author. So I am a mom. I have 5 awesome kids. Yes, 5. Boricua. No, I'm just joking. That has nothing to do with it. I was actually one of those people who said I would never have kids. I had no intention of having children. And then I have 5. So anyway, I have 3 girls and 2 boys. My oldest is 33. My next one is turning 31. And then my oldest is a boy. Then my daughter, she's turning 31. My other daughter, she's turning 29. And then my wait a minute, no, she's turning 28. I'm sorry. She's like, wait, my next age on it. She's turning 28. And then my son is turning 24, and then I have a 17-and-a-half-year-old who is about to turn 18 at home still with me. I am normally a college professor. I teach literature, art, history, and mythology. But I was a chef for 23 years. Still am doing that too. And I've been an executive chef for the last 8 years, almost 9. Last 8 years, yeah. It's going on 8, not 9. I've been an executive chef for the last 8 years. So basically, I've worked everywhere you can think of, from Paramount Studios to doing release parties for celebrities. I've worked at the Lot Studios. I've worked because I used to do movie catering. So and then in 2011, I became a published author. So before then, I started writing when I was like 10. And I was so enamored by books. It was like if my mom was looking for me, she'd be screaming my name and I wouldn't hear her. And it was because I had my little Walkman on. That's telling my age. I have a little Walkman on and I was reading a book under the bed or in the closet or something like that. And so she was just like, ay, Dios mío. You know, so basically that was me. And so when after my kids started getting older to the point where, you know, they were all in school, they were doing their things, in my free time, I would write. And so the first book I ever wrote the first one I ever wrote, I was 13. And it was like based off of, one summer I read the entire works of Shakespeare. And I wanted to write a Shakespearean tragedy. And it was exactly that, a Shakespearean tragedy. It was so funny that my friends thought it was comedy. And I was so hurt because I was like, I was serious. And so they pretty much just sat there dying laughing like, really? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You know, so basically life comes on and you do the things that you need to do in life. And then in 2004, I decided that I got bursitis in my right shoulder from the repetition of the saucepans and all that stuff. And I decided that I wanted to teach because I always wanted to be a teacher. It's just that, you know, my husband and I having 5 kids, you know, you have to find a career quickly in order to keep, you know, the mouths fed and that kind of stuff. So I always wanted to be a chef too. So to be honest, it was the easier and the quicker career because I do have a BA in culinary, but it was the easier and the quicker degree that I could get. I could start, you know, basically support my family, all that kind of stuff. And then once our kids started getting, older, then I could do what I wanted to do. So what I had always wanted to do was teach. And so in 2004, at like 34, I decided, I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to get my master's to teach. And so that's what I did. And then I wind up teaching, and in that process, my older kids started moving off to college. So, my oldest graduated, and then 2 years after that, my next one graduated. And so it was like two kids were out of the house, and the other ones that were left were old enough to where I could do my own thing too now. So basically that's when I decided to pick up writing again. And then now I sent my manuscript out the old-fashioned way. I did the query letters. I tried to get a publishing agent. I tried to get a literary agent. I did all of the stuff that you would do when you're an aspiring author. Now, the first book that I wrote was a historical romance, and it's called A Lad's Trousers, and it is on Amazon.com right now. It's been on there for 9 years. Because 8 years, because that book came out in 2012 after Teaching Between Midnight and Dawn. And so the first book I ever workshopped or tried to get out there was Teaching Between Midnight and Dawn. Okay, and Teaching Between Midnight and Dawn, that series evolves around Aaron and Ariana. Now, if you watch the other videos on the channel, you could pop over and see it's reverse harem. That will give you a complete synopsis of that series. And so Aaron is from a Scottish werewolf den. Ariana is an Afro-Latina, basically descendant of Isis. So she's like a priestess, a witch, all of this stuff combined. And so in the book, you have Spanglish, because I'm Afro-Latina. You have Scottish, because you have the Scottish werewolves. You have British slang, because you have the British vampires. You have Welsh slang, because you have the Welsh warlocks. And so basically, there's Pakistani and Hindi, like every freaking nationality that you can think of is I put in this series. So you're going to get languages from everywhere, because the whole point is I am a multicultural person. I'm a multiracial person. So I observe in my own family 6 different cultures because of the fact that we are multicultural. So basically, this is how I am. And then my kids are even worse than me. My family literally, I've had people literally say, your family looks like the UN at holidays. So that's how crazy my family is. So you are going to find all of this in my characters and in my books, because I wanted it to be that way. So when I first tried to shop this manuscript around, I would get rejection letters. And my third oldest kid, the middle kid, which is what I am too, the middle child, you know how we always get ignored. This is what happens because we get ignored. We become like these freaking creative people. No, just like, but anyway. And so she went out and she bought me this little book. It was called Dirty Rotten Rejections. And that book made me feel amazing, because I was getting, rejections on the right. It was like, okay, well, the character is too young. The character is this. No one was really shopping for an Afro-Latina main character. Now, she could be black. She could be white. She could be Asian. But no one wanted an Afro-Latina multicultural main character. So basically, I would get rejection letters on the left and the right. And so she went and bought me this little book. It was called Dirty Rotten Rejections. And did you know that E.T. was rejected 35 times? That blew my mind when I saw that. Mark Twain's was which one did he do? Not Huckleberry Finn. I forget the other famous one. That's bad. I'm a literature teacher. Anyway, I shouldn't be saying that. But anyway, he got rejected 22 times. And it just made me feel so good because all of these people that you would never ever think would get their work rejected this many times were like, screw it, I'm just gonna keep trying. And so that gave me courage, that gave me strength to keep going on. And I would get some of the craziest rejection letters. Like this one lady, she looked at my last name because my last name is Infante. The Scottish language in the book, she thought it was because I spoke English as a second language. So she sent me a rejection letter, and she said, I think you should take an English 101 class. Take that class, redo the manuscript, and send it back to me. And then I might be interested. Well, that rubbed me completely the wrong way. And so I sent her a response of, I'm a literature and a mythology teacher. What you are reading is a Scottish accent written. It is not Spanglish, which is what you thought, because my last name is Infante. So basically, thank you, but no. And so she sent back a letter after that, like, basically, I'm so sorry, I put my foot in my mouth. Because basically, those people have so many manuscripts that they look over that they just assume, or they stick them all in one pile. And so she's probably used to typos and stuff like that, that she automatically assumed that the written accent was me trying to speak English, which technically is racist too, but I didn't even go that route. But so I was just like, no, thank you. So that probably could have been my first publishing company. Because she actually wanted me to redo the manuscript and send it back to her, but that just rubbed me the wrong way, and I was like, I'm not selling my soul for that. And then like a year later, I got another interest, and it was for my Midna's Fairy Tale series. And she wanted me to, she liked the character. She wanted me to take out the Irish Gaelic. She wanted me to take the Gaelic out of the book, and then she wanted me to change one of the characters' ages from 18 to 21. And basically, I was like, no. So, because the Gaelic in the book had to do with the book. And, I mean, if I would have taken that out of the book, then it would no longer be my book. And so that was the one thing I was not doing, because I had read this girl who got published. I forget her name. When they finished with her book, she said she cried. She literally cried and was like, "Where's my book?" Because once the editors and marketing team and all that stuff finished with her book, she was like, "My book is no longer there." And yeah, I may not be up there with Stephen King and all those people now, but I just feel like I kept my integrity, because this is a series that I didn't want touched. And then when you start making comments and start changing things that have to do with race and who I am as a person, no, that's not happening. Like the Hunger Games. The girl from the Hunger Games was actually a girl of color. She's in the book. She's implied to be Hindi or black or mulatto, or no, not mulatto. I can't believe I just said that. It's because of that woman in that freaking review. Or biracial, multicultural, something like that. But she is not Caucasian. But she allowed them, when they made the movie, because of the fact that they told her she would make more money, she allowed them to change her character to white. And so basically, I feel like that was a sellout and a cop-out, because that could have been a major movie with a person of color. And so that is what I refuse to do. So yeah, so I might have had 3 or 4 publishing careers by now, but I wasn't selling out. And I really don't care. So basically, I decided to not go with them. And then in 2011, I got the submission request from Eternal Press, and they wanted to sign me. They wanted to sign to. They wanted my book, Teaching Between Midnight and Dawn, Ariana's Legend. And so I signed with them, and I signed a 3-year contract with the option to re-up my contract after 3 years. And so they retain the rights to my books, but no movie rights. Like that back then, you weren't giving movie rights. And so basically, and our journey was a little bit tumultuous because Kim had issues, and sometimes those issues would go on to her authors. And so, that's pretty much all I'm going to say about that, because I'm not here to talk trash about people. Even though they did me wrong, I'm still not going to, beat them over the head. And one, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Eternal Press is defunct now anyway, so it's no longer in business. Now, Damnation Publishing, which is the company that which is the owner. Eternal Press was a subsidiary. It was like under the umbrella of Damnation Publishing. I didn't have any issues with them. We were fine. The Damnation is still in business. And in 2015, they returned the rights to my books, and they actually asked me if I wanted to sign with them again. So basically, I could have gotten my rights back like before then, but then I started in so when I stopped writing for them, I stopped writing for them in 2013, but I was still one of their authors till 2015. I just stopped sending them, I just stopped doing books for them in 2013. So they had 3 of my books, and then once I had my issues and the tumultuous relationship between Kim and I decided not to send them any more books. But I was still under Damnation's heading. And so I decided to go indie in 2013. And I just felt like, because indie, I got to do what I wanted to do. My characters are minority women. And I wanted to play up the fact that they were minority women. They run this mother. That's how that book series goes. It is women driven. It is reverse harem. So you all answer to them. And I wanted to create a series like that, where women ran this mother, where women were the ones who were in charge. Because every book that I've read, except every paranormal book that I read out there, except for Kim Harrison and Laurel K. Hamilton, every other paranormal book I read when I was thinking of becoming a paranormal author, the men ran it. It was the alpha pack with the male. No, that was not working for my world. So, not only does Ariana and all 10 supercharged women run this mother effer, but they all answer to them. And then I have another series, Married to a Werewolf, where it is a female-led pack. She is the master. She is the alpha. Everyone, these men are here vying for her hand. She is the one in charge. So basically, I wanted a strong female-led series. So I did that with Teacher Between Midnight and Dawn, Midnight's Fairy Tale, because although Callan is a prince and King Roy is a king, they answer to Midnight because she is the most powerful witch that they've ever met. And then Bayou Blues, even though Luke is pack alpha, he answers to Izzy. Salito Witches, even though Waverly is a 675-year-old warlock, he answers to Manny. So, basically, these are the series that I created from that. So one bad turn with Eternal Press basically created a monster. And so now I have 45 paranormal romances, well, 44, I'm sorry. 44 paranormal romances, 18 contemporary romances, 11 historical romances, 4 paranormal romances under a pen name, 22 erotic romances under a pen name because I'm a teacher still, so I can't be connected with that. And then that's it. So in total, I think I'm on my 88th book, and I have 4 titles coming out. Well, 6 titles from the paranormals, and then I also have a historical romance that Christine is waiting for. Christine is like my biggest reader. I love her. It's called Zen, and they're basically ninja. I haven't. It's almost done, but I was supposed to finish it over the Christmas break, but I didn't. But anyway, that's pretty much me. That's my journey. And now I am an indie author, and I love being an indie author. I'm thinking once again about, sending in submissions, but then I don't know, because the whole thing that I love about being an indie author is I get to write the way I want. I get to write what I want. I'm not constricted, and I'm not constrained by what someone at a publishing company wants me to do. I get to write my books the way I want to write them. So I'm not sure. I may. Who knows? But anyway, that's my story. And I'm author Alexandria Infante. Please subscribe to my channel. Check out the books. I actually give you I give you the synopsis for the Teaching Between Midnight and Dawn series, the Light Fairy Tale, the Slater Witches, the Bayou Blues, and then I give you a couple of synopsises on the contemporary romances and the historic romances. So check them out. Come by, stay for a bit, and I thank you for actually taking the time to be here. And if you are a new viewer, please subscribe. Click that subscribe button down there and subscribe to our channel, my channel, and then click the little bell too, because each time I let a video in or I upload a new video, that bell will ring for you and let you know that I uploaded something. Thanks bunches, and I will see you